Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. I hope you are all well. I'm going to wait for you all to jump on. And while I'm waiting for you to start appearing, I'm just going to share this live also in a couple of my other groups. Once you are on the live with me, do comment below. Let me know that you are here. I can see you all jumping on. That's what I like to see. Good evening, good evening, good evening, ladies. Okay, so I'm going to be looking down at my phone every so often because the comments don't always appear in front of me. So I have got you all here as well. So do comment below. Let me know where you are listening in from. Let me know if it's your first time on one of my lives and masterclasses. Let me know if you are a VIP. And also, ladies, while we're on the live, I've got some exciting giveaways tonight as well. So you can quickly do this while you're on the live. I'm giving away 3 spaces on some energy healing courses that I have coming up. So we've got the Rainbow Energy Healing course, and we also have the Chakra Healing with the Archangels. So if you want to win a space, your chance to win a space on those upcoming courses, just share this live right now to your story or your Facebook page and then comment below shared, just so I can write your names down so I know who shared. Lots of VIPs here, love that. And I know you VIPs, you are ready to get back on track. That's why you're here tonight. That is why you are here tonight. Good evening, and I'm so glad so many of you are jumping on. This is fantastic. Manchester share button, you can just click on share. I'm back. It froze for a second, it did freeze. So hopefully everyone will jump back on. It went all black and white on my screen. Good evening. Okay, so I'm glad that it did actually freeze because your comments are coming up there now as well. So brilliant. A few of you have jumped off. That'll be the ego. That's why you need to be on this masterclass tonight, because we're going to be talking about tonight, ladies, how the ego is controlling our lives. Okay. And what I want you to do is just grab pen and paper, because through this workshop tonight, what I want you to do, just check that I'm not ripping anything important there. But each question that I go through, well, not question, but I'm going to give you some different things that the ego will say, okay? And if you do recognise that you also think and say these things, okay, maybe make these excuses that I'm going to be talking about tonight, I want you to just put a number 1, okay? Each time something resonates with you, I just want you to put a 1. And then you can just cross it off when you get to 5, because I want you to add it up afterwards, okay? I want you to add it up and really see. This is a really good way to find out whether you are being divinely guided by your intuition or whether you are being guided by the ego, okay? And we really need to bring that awareness to ourselves and recognize that, because a lot of people are struggling on their personal development journeys or manifestation journeys because they are listening to the ego and they're mistaking it for intuition, and they are going around in circles because of it, okay? The ego, when we were toddlers, we weren't conditioned, okay? When we were toddlers, we were completely connected and in alignment with one intuition, but also our super consciousness. And then through the programming, okay, the ego then was formed because we were told what to choose, what to believe, what to think, what to feel, and how to act. Okay, and when we are being told what to choose, what to believe, what to feel, what to think, and how to act, this then becomes part of us. It becomes us. It becomes the program. And then we feed it more and more ourselves, and it gets fed through our life, whether it's things that we watch, our parents, schooling, okay? And the ego becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And a lot of us, because the ego, obviously, one of the main things that the ego tries to do is keep you safe. But unfortunately, all it does is keep you where you are, okay? Because the ego will always give you an excuse or a reason why you can't do something, or why you can't step out of your comfort zone, why you can't change, okay? Yeah, 100% Karen, 100%. It is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Okay, so the ego will always feed you with, I call the ego, and I know a lot of you ladies in the VIP know this, okay, I call the ego the Prince of Lies. And the reason I call the ego the Prince of Lies is, one, because I read a book many years ago called The Voice of Knowledge, and in the Voice of Knowledge it was called the Prince of Lies, and it really resonated with me because a prince is charming, and the ego has a way of manipulating you. The ego has a way of making out that they've got you, they're looking after you. They've got your best interest at heart. They're watching your back. They're protecting you. And this is so far from the truth. So when it comes to things like justifying our actions, different things that we are doing, maybe avoiding responsibility, okay? And I want everybody to get involved tonight, okay? How many of you say, and how many of you know that you still use this, and you've got to recognise this. Tonight, you really want to be tapping into that awareness and recognising where you are, holding yourself back, and also BSing yourself. And for those of you that aren't in my academy, I mean bullshitting yourself, okay? Excuse my language, okay? How many of you, when you don't do something or complete something, or like some of you tonight that aren't on this live, okay, and I know there's a few VIP members that said they were going to be on and they're not, will say something like, I didn't have enough time. And I want everyone to get involved. How many of you say these things? I didn't have enough time. And remember, like I said, I want you to do a little number one. If these are excuses that you use, because this is the ego. The ego will tell you you didn't have enough time. Okay? I was too tired to do it. I was too tired to do it. Ego. Okay? In certain situations, it might be, I thought someone else was going to handle it. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. I forgot about it. Just slipped my mind. I forgot about it. Even though you got an email, even though you got a message in the WhatsApp group. I forgot all about it. Remember, write your numbers down on a piece of paper. I want you to add these up afterwards, ladies. Okay? I didn't want to upset anyone. And these are just excuses when it comes to justifying your actions. Okay, we're going to get into the manifesting part in a moment, but this can also be to do with manifesting and avoiding responsibility. I didn't want to upset anybody. I thought it would be okay to skip it. I was overwhelmed with other tasks. I didn't realise it was that important. Didn't realise. Okay, I had other commitments. I didn't receive the right information. This is a good one because I think a lot of people use this one. And again, this is ego. I was having a bad day. Okay. I didn't think it would matter. I was distracted by other things. I thought it could wait. Oh, I was just too stressed to deal with it. that I've had a bad day. I was too stressed to deal with it. Okay. I assumed it wouldn't be a problem. I didn't want to take the risk. I was dealing with personal issues. I thought I had more time. I didn't do it because I didn't want to make a mistake. I was trying to help somebody and I didn't have time. I've been waiting for the right moment. I've been waiting for the right moment. Now, I want you all to be honest on this live. How many of those excuses there resonated with you and you know that you use on a regular basis? And I want you to be completely honest. Completely honest. I want everyone to be completely honest here. $15. Well done, Julie. 15, 8. Might need a bigger bit of paper. No, that's good. I'm glad you're being honest. Because this is the thing. We want to be honest. We want to recognise this. Because I'm being completely honest with you here, ladies. If any of you have got more than 3 or 4 from that list, you are not being guided by your intuition. You are being completely guided by the ego. Okay, and there's bigger lists, but we haven't got all night. We haven't got all night. And this is where we also need to recognize that a lot of us are listening to the ego more than we are listening to our intuition. And it's really important that we recognize that, because the ego is going to hold you back in every area of your journey. Every area of your journey. Now, I just gave some examples, you know, tonight from those questions, those little excuses, that list of excuses that I gave you there. Okay. But I'm going to also go through another list of 30 excuses that people also use. And this massively, massively, massively holds you back on your manifestation journey. Okay. And I know a lot of you, ladies, comment below if you are on a manifestation journey, or comment below if you are struggling to manifest. Because when you are in alignment, when you are being guided by your intuition, you are not going to struggle with manifestation. Now, if you are struggling with manifestation, it is because you are manifesting from ego. And what I mean by that is that you know what you want, you know what you desire. Okay, and I'm going to go into the ego again in a moment. You know what you want, you know what you desire. But it's the ego that's taken over when you're thinking. It's the ego that's taken over when it's time to take action. It's the ego taking over when it's time to commit. It's the ego taking over when it's time to show up. It's the ego taking over when you should have been on this masterclass, but you decided, oh, my TV program's on tonight and that's more important. Or I had other things to do. I've had a really bad day. I feel stressed. I didn't have time. Okay, this is the ego. And everybody, I think the whole world would agree that everybody would love to manifest a better future. Everybody would love to live a life of fulfillment. And you know what? The beautiful thing about that is we all can. But it's not just going to happen. We have to make sure that we are being divinely guided. We're not listening to the ego, okay? Standing in your power is taking back your control. At the moment, the ego has control of a lot of people, okay? And it's time to take that control back, because once you take that control back, you can start to be divinely guided. You're going to tap into your super consciousness and you're going to be guided by your super consciousness. And then manifestation will become a lot easier, and it's going to become a lot more enjoyable, because when you're manifesting from the ego, also, you're going to feel like you're trying to manifest something. How many of you at times feel like you're trying to manifest something? And I want everybody to be honest. Do comment below. How many of you at times feel like you're trying to manifest something? So Jennifer, I have ADHD as well. So we can't use ADHD as an excuse. Because with ADHD, as long as you are, you know, as long as you create that habitual habit, you will rewire your brain. You will rewire your brain. And I spoke to a doctor about this, because, you know, a few years back when I realised my partner had got ADHD, and I was like, look, just speak to your doctor about it to see if they can help you with, you know, sleep and stuff, because he had a real big problem sleeping. And he's done it holistic way now anyway. But when she was sitting there in the room talking about all of this stuff, because I've never liked the word ADHD, I've never liked giving anybody a label, and then it was like, Jem, well, actually, you do have ADHD, you know, but you don't have to, you know, it's not something that I go around and tell everybody. A lot of you probably know that in the academy, like, oh, there's Jem going off on one again, that's the ADHD. So when she was going through these different questions that she was asking my partner, I was like blown away, because I was like, oh my God, I used to struggle with all of this stuff that she was coming out with. And I said to her, I said, I'm a mindset mentor, and I've done a lot of work on myself and a lot of work on my mindset. I said, but every single thing that you have just said there, I used to struggle with, but I don't anymore. I said, so can you, correct that within yourself? And she said 100%, because you're rewiring your brain. So I was like, oh, wow. Because years ago, everything that was on that list, that was me. It was like she was talking to me, but she was actually talking to my partner. And he's there going, yep, to everything. And I was like, oh my God, I used to be like that. I used to be like that. And I'm not anymore, okay? So when we do stick at something, even with ADHD, it will get better. It can get better. Sometimes I normally forget what I'm trying to manifest. I love that. Manifestation has always been a consistent struggle. I repeat the same cycle year in and year out. It's so frustrating. Okay, because this, Lisa, could be that you are manifesting from ego, sweetheart. Yeah, because trying is lying. This is what I was going to say. The trying is lying. It's not in alignment. So the ego is going to give you these excuses when it comes to your manifesting and personal development journey. And I want you again to just do the little number ones on your piece of paper, but also get involved down below in the comments, okay? If these are stuff, yeah, it is a superpower, Rachel, 100%. That's exactly what it is. If you know that you are using these excuses, because if you are using these excuses, ladies, this is why you're struggling to manifest. Okay, and no, we're not going to just stop using these excuses. And the reason why, because they're a massive part of you. Your ego has been a massive part of you since you were programmed with it. And this ego is a massive part of you. Okay, we don't just get rid of the ego, but we are going to be moving forward, doing a lot of work in the academy to now start reprogramming that and changing that. Okay, because I don't want you to be struggling anymore on your personal development or your manifesting journey. Okay, so the first one, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I don't deserve success. What if I fail? I don't have the skills I need. It's too late for me to start. This is one that so many people come out with to me, and I'm just like, stop bullshitting yourself. I need to wait for the right opportunity. Waiting for that right opportunity. I need to wait. I can't change who I am. I'm too old or I'm too young for this. I don't have enough support. I'm not good enough. Okay? I need to be perfect before I start. I don't have the resources. What are others going to think of me? My God, judgment. What are others going to think of me? I know, I'll start tomorrow or I'll start next week. Okay? I'm afraid of success. I don't know where to begin. I'm just too busy with other commitments. Just too busy. I'm just too busy to create the life I desire. No, no, no. Anyone that wants to create the life they desire, they are never too busy for that, okay? But this is what the ego will tell you, okay? I might embarrass myself. Oh, I just have too many responsibilities. Too many responsibilities. I can't trust myself to follow through. I need to learn more before I act. I don't know anyone that's done this. I'm not the type of person who can achieve this. I'll never be as good as others. I just don't have a clear vision. I'm afraid that I'm afraid of the changes success will bring. I have to please everyone else first. I've tried before, but it didn't work. Okay? I'm too focused on my problems. I don't want to outshine others. Now, these are just 30 ladies. Like I said, I didn't want tonight's live to be too long for people not to watch the replay and look at it and think, oh my God, this workshop's 2 hours. We are going to be going deeper into this in the academy, because although I've just given you 30 excuses that the ego is going to give you on your manifesting journey, there's actually hundreds. Okay? So we are going to go deeper into this in the VIP to really bring that awareness. What we have to understand is, and I want everybody here, if they're having a light bulb moment, if you are someone that are using those excuses, you are going to keep going around in circles. Okay? No one wants to be going around in circles. We do not want to be going into another year going around in circles. We do not want to be going into 2026 and be like, I'm going around in circles still. Okay? We have to recognise, you know, and this is what this is about tonight. We have to recognise the control the ego has and the negative impact that the ego is having on your life and your journey. Now, can everybody agree tonight on this live? Would you all agree that the ego is affecting your life and your journey? It's affecting your progress. It's affecting your manifesting. This has helped me reorganise what I need to work on. Yeah. Cycles because I have 26 excuses. Yeah. And this is the thing. We've got to remember, what you've got to remember in life, ladies, we always have a choice. Okay? There's always two choices. We're either going to, and the choice is simple as, we're going to either be, let the ego decide, and we're going to make the wrong choice. Okay? Or allow the intuition and make the right choice. How many of you also, and I want you to also write down below, how many of you are going to call yourselves out on your own bullshit tonight and say, I'm going to hold my hands up. I know that I've been saying it was my intuition, but I can clearly see now that it's not my intuition. It's the ego. Because all the stuff I've gone through tonight, that's not intuition, ladies. That's ego. That is not intuition. Yeah, brilliant, Claire, for admitting that. And the thing is as well, what we've got to remember is words are spells. And when we're saying something like, I don't have time, what we're actually doing is we're creating things around us to take up that time, or we're creating time around us to go really fast. So it really does feel like you don't have time, because you're manifesting what you're giving your energy to. So if you're saying out loud, I don't have time, that's exactly what you're creating as well. Lots of hands up here. I love this. You're being so honest. I love this. And this is what we have to do, because when we bullshit ourselves, it's do you know what? It's easy to bullshit ourselves because, again, it's ego. It keeps us safe. Okay, and if we're bullshitting ourselves, we don't have to recognise where we're going wrong, the wrong choices that we're making, and we can avoid that responsibility, because we don't really want to put our hands up and go, actually, fuck, it's me that's completely holding myself back on my journey. Only I can change this. I'd rather actually say, I've got a lot of problems going on at the moment, and I'm going to use that as an excuse. Do you know how many people over the years, like I've been running the academy, 10 years? And do you know how many people, if someone wants to leave the academy, that's absolutely fine. I always wish people all the best on their journey. But do you know how many people have messaged me to say, Jo, I'm going to have to leave at the moment because my energy isn't in the right place? Like, it's absolutely crazy that that's coming out of it. My energy isn't in the right place. To get your energy in the right place, the VIP is the place to be. But I have lost count the amount of times, or when someone has messaged me and said, I really want to join your academy, but my energy isn't in the right place. That's ego. That's just an excuse. It's just an excuse. We have to recognise and hold ourselves accountable. that we are full of excuses, that we are living in the ego, and that needs to change. How many of you are going to comment below, I'm living in the ego? Okay, I just want you to write it. If you're living in the ego, I want you to admit it down below. I've been living in the ego. Because that's going to fucking change. That is going to change. But I want you to admit it to yourselves now. Because admitting it, it's important. I left years ago and had to come back. Yeah. I left because my ego said it wasn't working. And now I've come back again. I love that you're back with us, Lisa. Yeah, and the ego will say it's not working. And do you know what? Lisa, I'm going to be honest with you here. The ego was right. It wasn't working. Because you were probably being guided by the ego. And that's why it wasn't working. Because the ego doesn't want it to work. And the reason that the ego doesn't want it to work is because it keeps you where you are in that comfort zone, that safety zone. And then you haven't got to explore stepping into the unknown, stepping into your fears. You haven't got to explore changes because that scares the hell out of you as well. So does success. So does meeting new people. So does what are people going to think? What are people going to say? All these other things that scare us. So the ego is going to say, okay, you know, it's not working for you. Yep, I'm going to go with that one. It don't work for me. That's it. I'm throwing the towel in. Because it's easier to accept that. I've been living in the ego and didn't realise it until now. It all makes sense. Yeah, love that, Julian. That's the ego, but it's recognising it. Does that make sense? I've been living in my ego. It's been running my life for a long time, keeping me safe. Yeah, I don't live in it, but it doesn't stop it creeping in and holding me back. Yeah, 100%. And this is what we've got to recognise, because some of you are going to be like really living in the ego. Some of you, like what you just said there, Maria, you're not living in it, but it is massively holding you back on your journey. Okay, so we are still part living in the ego when it's like that, and we're giving our power to it. We are giving our power to something we weren't born with. We were all born with beautiful, amazing gifts, divine gifts, knowledge, wisdom, magic, power, okay? Because we were a divine energy. We were a divine energy when we were brought into the world. We were programmed with a fucking ego, and then that changed everything. That changed everything. Okay? And it's about going back to who we were. Okay, and we can reprogram, we can start to reprogram ourselves now, and catching when that ego comes in, recognizing the ego. You know, like I've said many times before, okay, that the ego lies to you. And when you're being lied to, it doesn't feel good. So also another way of recognizing when the ego is creeping in is because it's not going to feel good. It's not going to feel good. And that's a way of identifying it as well, because lies don't feel good. So when the ego is coming in and lying to you, even though it's like, oh, okay, well, by making this excuse, it's going to keep me in my comfort zone, it's not going to feel good because it's a lie. The ego will talk you out of how many of you have had an amazing opportunity come your way, and the ego has given you an excuse why now is not the right time. Now's not the right time. That's another one. The ego. And it's not that it's not the right time, but the ego will tell you it is. So you don't do it. Because if you said yes to you more, and yes, it is the right time, you're going to evolve. Now, the whole point of our life, our journey, is to grow and evolve. Okay, and we'll always continue, those that are on that journey. You never get to a stage, and I've said this before, always remain teachable, because you never get to a stage where you've stopped evolving. We're always evolving, ladies. But if we're living in the ego and we're giving our power to the ego, unfortunately, we won't evolve. And some people have signed up not to evolve. But anyone that is on this live, anyone that watches this on replay, anyone that is in the academy, you've all chosen to evolve. Otherwise, this stuff would not interest you. And there are other people getting on that journey of, do you know what? I'm ready. I'm ready for this change. I'm ready to evolve. But when we're allowing the ego to guide us, we're not going to evolve. We're not going to grow. There's going to be no growth. Yeah, and it can feel like that, Natasha. It can feel like you're constantly fighting it. But as long, the thing is, you'll never lose, and this is what I say, okay, you can never lose, you can never fail unless you completely give up. When you keep going, you will have that breakthrough. And sometimes, you know, I've said it before, sometimes we have to have that mini breakdown before we have that breakthrough. So it could be like, I just feel like I'm getting nowhere. Just like cry your eyes out and have one of those moments, and then take that deep breath, get your energy right, and keep going. Keep going. Okay? But it's time now to take your power back. And I want everybody on this live to write down below, I am ready to take my power back. I am ready. I want you to put it in capital letters. I am ready to take my power back. I'm fighting with my ego while you're speaking. Yeah, and this is what the ego will do, Lindsay. You know, some people even, you know, like some spiritual teachers and energy healers will say, and some of you this might resonate with you as well, because my nan was very much like it. We've got the angel, the divine guidance. You've got the devil, the ego. Okay, so look at the ego as the negative energy out there trying to hold you back, dim your light, bring you down, keep you trapped, keep you where you are. Because if you listen to the divine guidance and you keep evolving and you keep growing, you're going to have a massive impact on other people's lives, and you're going to help them grow. You're going to help them grow, and you're going to help them evolve as well. We were given an ego because by having an ego, we were all naturally put on a lower vibration and we're easier to control. Okay? I'm not going to go on a conspiracy one tonight. I keep that stuff off of Facebook. But how many of you can see that? You know, we were easier and are easier to control. We plod along. You know, we're not just told, are we, ladies, how to think, feel, act, you know, and what we should choose. We're told we need to do this, that, and the other. Okay? This is how life is. This is how it should be. Says who? Well, it's always been like that. These are the rules. Yeah, the ego will want to keep you small. The ego does not like growth. The ego does not like growth. It wants to keep you in a comfort zone. It wants to, and I tell you how, the way it manipulates you, it's almost like a narcissistic relationship. You know, like, oh, but babe, I was just looking out for you. You know, that narcissistic relationship. I bet everybody's been in one of those before. How many of you have been in a narcissistic relationship, ladies, where, you know, that guy is such an arse, but so charming in some ways, where, you know, he was looking out for you. He was just protecting you. Just protecting you, trying to keep you safe because he loves you so much, when really actually he's completely controlling your life. Okay? Because of his own insecurities. This is like the ego. Okay? Oh, I'm just trying to keep you safe because what if this, what if that? Yeah, and you want to let go of that worry. The thing is, beautiful Joanne, do you know what? We're not going to be able to please everybody in life. Okay? Never. And if you do upset somebody, what we've got to remember, if someone is upset, and you all know this from being in the academy, look within. If I've triggered you, that's your problem, not mine. And, you know, I'm saying this from love. I'm getting on the real and raw one now. Auntie Margie's coming back through. Okay, like we done the real and raw the other night, didn't we, in the academy? But if I trigger you, that's not my problem. That's on you. Why has it triggered you? Why did it piss you off? What other healing do you need to do? Go deep within. That's your own issue. It's not the person's issue that's triggered you by speaking their truth or sharing. I have on social media and even in the academy, I know over the years I've triggered hundreds of people. I've even had VIP ladies, and I love it when I've got this relation with them, like that have jumped off a live and went, fuck me, Jem, you triggered the hell out of me tonight. But I love you. I love you so much because I needed to hear that. And that's like, that's growth. That's evolving. When someone can come and inbox you and go, fuck me, you have triggered the hell out of me tonight. And then you get others that get triggered and they just spit the dummy out. Fuck this, I'm not listening to her live. I'm cutting her off. I'm blocking her. Never want to listen to that fucking positive fucking think she knows it all. What? Ego. Ego. Always remain teachable. And you're going to learn so much from your own triggers as well. Okay? The ego will blame the other person. The ego will completely bypass it. You know, it's not you, it's them. I love you too. I love you too. Yeah, again, the fear. It's the ego, isn't it? It's the ego. And this is where we have to recognize it. We have to recognize the power that we are giving it every single day. Every single day. I love you too, Kirsty. Love you too. So this is the thing, ladies. We have to recognise where we're giving our power away and say to ourselves, do you know what, it stops now. And it's not just going to be a click of the fingers. It's not just going to be like a, the ego's gone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's having that awareness. Okay, having that awareness. The next time an opportunity comes up, what was the first thing that you were going to say? It's not the right time. Okay? It's not for me. When it is, it's something you really want to do. Ego. Recognize, start recognizing the ego so you can be more in that present moment, bringing that awareness to yourself and going, no, hold on. This is ego. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to stop with these excuses and I'm going to make it happen. Ooh. Exactly, Joanne. Exactly. See, the thing is as well, with things like that, like if you don't like seeing Christmas posts because it's too early, I've always been a bit like, why did they feel the need to comment on your post and say that anyway, if you don't like the post? You know, it's like, this is what I mean, ego. Their ego now is triggered like, oh my God, we've not even got Halloween over and done with, the summer's not over yet, and she's just posted about Christmas. Oh, I'm gonna like, I posted, didn't I? The other day, I probably triggered people. I've got the 12-month forecast readings coming up, and I've had a wait list since last year. And I've had people recently that missed out last year for a 12-month forecast reading message me and say, Gem, I am on the list for this year. I don't. And I was like, oh, God, I completely forgotten about the list. Let me find the list. So I found the list, and then I was like, I do not have many spaces. Because of the people that have been on the list since 2025. So recently I put out, you know, we're in September, and recently I put out, didn't I, and said, if you want a 2026 12-month forecast reading, I've got XYZ spaces left. Message me now for details to go on the list, because once them spaces are gone, they are gone. They are gone. And then there won't be that opportunity then until next year. It's never too early to talk about Christmas. I absolutely love that. Just reading these comments, ladies. 2 opportunities come up and I faced my fears and said yes to both. I love that. I love that. And that's growth. That is growth. I go back and still listen to mine. I love that, Karen. Okay. So, ladies, are we ready to create change? Are we ready to take our power back? Are we ready to start being guided by the intuition? And stop trying to convince ourselves that the ego is the intuition. It's not. It's not. Okay, we want to start to get centered. We want to start to shift ourselves more into alignment and really start to connect now to our super consciousness. Because as we start to take our power away from the ego, you're going to step fully in your power. You're going to embody that power. You're going to embrace that power. And you are going to fully step into your creator energy. And that's what all of us are here to do. We are all here to be the creators. We are all the creators. You know, when people say we were created, never mind we were created, we are the creators. We are the creators. We create our reality through our choices, through our actions. And if we are choosing to listen to the ego, we are choosing to come out with one excuse after the other. And this is why we're going around in circles. We feel like we're getting nowhere. We're feeling tired, we're feeling exhausted, we're feeling run down, we're feeling like it's not working, because you're giving all your power to the ego and you're being guided by it. It's time now to get back into alignment. Okay, so I hope, ladies, you are all looking forward to September in the VIP. We have got, because some of you know, obviously I'm going away with my mum next week. There it has been, I've recorded 7 morning meditations. So there's like a Monday morning, Tuesday, you know how it goes. There's also, we've got 7 different flame energy healings coming up. We've got the 21-day manifestation candle ritual coming up. And you will absolutely love this, ladies, because this is designed now also with doing the 21-day flame candle ritual. It's going to help you get into alignment. It's going to help you be more present with the divine guidance, your super consciousness. Okay, be more in your heart space. Fuck off, ego. I love that. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And I'm glad so many of you jumped on tonight. Okay, those of you that didn't, and if you watch this on replay, those of you that didn't, I want you to comment below. Was it your ego? Okay, are you having that realization now? Oh my God, it was my ego. And some of the people that even started to listen to the live to start with and 10 minutes in go, oh, I haven't got time for this. That's ego. And at the moment, they're not on a journey to evolve, because if they were, they would be here. They might come back and listen to it later and be like, now I can see where I'm going wrong on my journey. I want to evolve. I want to grow. I want to be the creator. I want to live a life of fulfillment. Because each and every one of us have that power within us to create the reality, the future that you desire. Every single one of you. It doesn't matter how you've been brought up, your current circumstances, what you've been through, what education you had. None of that matters. I'm listening while driving back home. I love that, Yvonne. That's what I mean, no excuses. And I said this, didn't I, the other day. Some people will say they don't have time. You can listen to me. I can be on the seat of your car. Okay, and I love that you've done that, Yvonne. Amazing, beautiful. I'm not repeating on here what I call the ego. I love that. I love that. Right, ladies, I'm going to love you and leave you all for now. Remember, do share this live and comment below if you did share, because like I say, I am going to be giving a couple of spaces away to the energy healing, rainbow energy healing course that we have coming up. So if you would like a chance to win a space on either that or the angelic chakra healing course, then you do need to share the live also either on your Facebook page, or you can share it on your story. Sending you all lots and lots of love. I will speak to you all soon. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening, and VIPs, I will see you tomorrow morning for Wellness Wednesday in the Academy. Love you lots, and I'll speak to you all soon. Mwah. Bye, ladies.